how do you manage writing so many judgments, bearing in mind that you have a life to live? So the whole concept of judicial wellness need not be limited or looked at from the perspective of physical fitness. No, there are people who I know who are very physically fit, who can even run 10 kilometers, but they equally get stressed. So the conversation in the room is going to be guided by so many things, including people who are qualified in science in these areas of managing issues associated to wellness. But you all know
election petitions. There's a letter I think I saw on social media. I don't know how authentic it is, but it is purportedly signed by the Sierra, and it is calling some files from upcountry for election management, like election petitions. So maybe the Sierra can help us and tell us whether all the cases regarding election matters are going to be handled from Kampala, or anyone is free to file a case within a court circuit that is near them, whoever is aggrieved with election results. Thank you.
So I want to think that's all. Can allow responses from this side.
Thank you very much. I will answer the first question about Supreme Court priorities, and I will say something about wellness, and then the ED will answer somewhat about wellness and the election conditions, and then the CEO will answer the question about calling files, and she could say something also about wellness, since she presides over the lower bench. So, okay, Supreme Court, those of you who were in court yesterday know adjourned the election petition to 2nd March. Was it? Okay. Tuesday, thank you, Tuesday, 3rd. So, the justices of the Supreme Court will attend on the first day, which is 2nd, and depending on what happens on 3rd, they should be able to attend the last day as well. Why are we not adjourning the presidential election petition? Because the presidential election petition must be determined within 45 days. As of yesterday, we had already consumed 15 days in filing and the preliminaries, and the law doesn't take into account all that. They just say within 45 days from the date of filing the petition must be determined. So adjourning it is not an option. We have very, very little time within which to work. Moreover, the deadline for filing presidential election petitions is not yet done. So we are working under the possibility that another presidential petition could be filed today, tomorrow, and then we would have. So we could not have the luxury of adjourning it. Secondly, then you say, why didn't you postpone the annual judges conference? Again, planning for the annual judges conference starts way back. We've heard that the keynote speaker is Chief Justice of Zambia. There are other justices and other guests coming from abroad whose tickets had already been booked, and they had. So we could not postpone the annual judges conference either. So the Supreme Court justices will attend as and when they can, when we are not here in the case. So rest assured, they will be there whenever they are not in court. On the issue of judicial wellness and fatigue, and whether anybody should be worried about the judiciary, that maybe we have detected some tendencies and all. No, that's not the case. You know that in the thing of prevention is better than cure. Is that in medicine or in common sense? So you don't have to wait for people to first fall sick, then you react. We are trying to be proactive. And as you heard, there were those two declarations by the UN and by the Nauru Declaration on Judicial Well-being. People proactively thinking, people who handle high pressure cases, you know, not just election petitions with so much at stake, but criminal matters where murders have happened, robberies and rapes and defilements. You have to think about the people who handle this on a regular basis. What does it do to their mental well-being? And therefore it is this proactivity where we are thinking, let's try to address this. Could there be? And of course, you know, there was a report about warning so many people in Uganda, that's mentally sound. I don't remember this, but they mentioned. So we are proactively trying to address this issue before it becomes evident. I would like now to hand over to just Salva to answer the other questions, then we'll hand over to the CF.
Thank you, my Lord. Chair, my Lord, I will, with your permission, say something about judicial wellness. I think, ideally, it ought to have been just wellness without the word judicial. We added judicial because there are judges who are in this room, so they are talking judicial wellness. We can also here add media wellness because I'm very certain that you people have just come out of a very difficult, challenging reporting time. So you must have undergone a lot of psychological, mental trauma, anguish, stress related to how you report. And so it is also important that you as media also consider a media wellness program to discuss how you manage the challenges associated with the work that you do. The stress associated with the work is the same everywhere. The stress that a judge faces when they are doing their work may not be different from the way you as media also get stressed, because all of us, when we are stressed and we respond to stress differently. And we all know, for example, you people in the media, if you are reporting in a very toxic environment where there are even canisters, you get stressed. And when you reach home, you are not you. You are a very different person. So how do you manage that? How do you manage that? Is a conversation that you need to have with people who are within the same space with you. And so the space of judges being the space of judges, they are going to share how do you guys manage this heavy caseload. How do you manage a tense court environment? How do you manage writing so many judgments, bearing in mind that you have a life to live? So the whole concept of judicial wellness need not be limited or looked at from the perspective of physical fitness. No, there are people who I know who are very physically fit, who can even run 10 kilometers. But they equally get stressed. So the conversation in the room is going to be guided by so many things, including people who are qualified in science in these areas of managing issues associated to wellness. But you all know that I don't know whether you people have been confronted with the situation of talking to yourself. You are walking, you are talking to yourself, you sit home in the sitting room, you are talking to yourself, your children are asking you, but who are you talking to? So those are some of the ways of seeing people who are really disturbed. And so the conversation is, what pathways can we have as judicial officers to discuss issues that affect us in this work environment. And that's why it is important that we have this topic, because in the history of the judiciary, we've been basically discussing about work. We have never had a conversation to discuss the issues, the health-related issues that come with this work that we do. And that's why judicial wellness is very critical here, against the UN declaration on judicial wellness. But I also want to encourage you as media to also have a conversation on media wellness. Now, coming to the elaborating on the handling of election petitions,